TiECon in the Silicon Valley. It's an interesting collaboration that we've chanced upon. Young entrepreneurs from India and Pakistan, part of a fellowship program together. Sanmar, Mariam, appreciate you joining us here on CNBC TV 18. Mariam, let me start by asking you about this fellowship program and what you've been able to achieve through it.
Thank you. So the Rajiv Circle Fellowship, it started about 4 years ago. And in memory of Rajiv Mutani, the phenomenal entrepreneur and educator at Stanford, who was also a mentor to the Google founders. And in his legacy, the idea is to bring together people from South Asia, young innovators, makers, entrepreneurs, and help them integrate their ideas and themselves in the valley, introduce them to what's happening here, and then helping build a bridge between the two communities. And really an exchange of idea, an exchange of knowledge, but also exchange of people and resources. And I think that's what we're trying to do once again this year, bringing together phenomenal change makers once again from India and Pakistan, 12 of them.
How big is the startup scene in Pakistan? I mean, we have a startup ecosystem in India that's thriving, but what about Pakistan?
It's actually pretty nascent. It's new. I mean, the tech entrepreneurial landscape has been around for a while, about a good 2-3 decades now. But the social system, the social scene is just, developing. And so I'm primarily sort of working in the social enterprise ecosystem, running the country's only early stage social enterprise incubator. And it's really interesting. We recently started working with the Punjab IT board, and so we're trying to see how to bridge the gap between technology and social innovation.
Are you looking at India for ideas?
I mean, I was just telling Sanmar about how it's so exciting to see, the policy shift that's happening in India with Startup India, and how, in fact, when we've been meeting the government, right, the state bank, the tax folks, we're like, guys, just have a look next door. This is what we need to be doing. It's pretty exciting.
Okay. So Sanmar, what's the experience been like for you, and what kind of collaboration have you been able to put together through this fellowship so far?
So it's rather interesting because with working with entrepreneurs and founders from just across the border, it's all that there's not much interaction happening geographically back in South Asia, but when you come into the valley, it's just anyone, and the problems we face at a social entrepreneurship level are so alike. Agriculture both ways, energy both ways. So when we speak to founders there, the kind of solutions, for example, a lot of the fellows right now that are part of the Rajiv Circle Fellowship this year, the idea is that some founders in Pakistan are working on the products and services are directly sort of relevant even in India as a geography. It's rather a bad thing that because of our political environment they cannot bring their products into India, but they're game-changing solutions that India would benefit by, and vice versa as well. So maybe if we couldn't make it happen here, this is probably the place to sort of have rather exchange and then take it back home.
So what are the solutions, the products, the ideas that you foresee some more collaboration on, and that we could perhaps see some successful sort of partnerships?
Two of them, in fact, we saw from the get-go when we were selecting them. One is Club Internet, which is, focusing on collecting the next billion to the internet. And they've developed multiple platforms and interfaces, both apps and digital, that help the bottom of the pyramid actually, learn how to use the internet, how to use Google, how to set up a Facebook account. And then on the other side, we see a platform called Akaya that's trying to bring artisans through RFID tags and other things onto, mobile banking and transactions and digital transactions. And the idea that, one is trying to, make a mobile wallet and a digital wallet and a digital economy for artisans, and the other is trying to teach the very same artisans how to use that technology. I mean, it's a beautiful, perfect, completely intuitive marriage, right, of two ideas. And just bringing those two together in one room and saying, hey guys, have coffee. That's where it all begins. And
it all begins with them rooming together. They're literally rooming together, sleeping side by side next to each other, or in the same room, and that's when for the next 2.5 weeks, and that's when ideas are going to intuitively sort of grow onto each other as well, and it can't but happen.
Well, we hope that it does happen, but thank you very much for joining us here on Young Turks, and appreciate your time and wish you all the very best with this going forward. Thanks so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Well, we're at TiECon here in Silicon Valley, and guess who we run into? Our Young Turk mentor, Ravi Gururaj. Ravi, thanks very much for joining us. Good to see you here. And you've got a bunch of possible Young Turks right behind you. So what are you guys doing here?
So, this is an annual ritual. We bring some outstanding young companies to Silicon Valley each year, and we bring it at the time of TiECon, so they get an opportunity to meet some of the platform players, they get to meet some of the founders, the entrepreneurs in the Valley, and also come and meet the diaspora, which is so powerful and so, connected to our ecosystem as well at TiECon. So that's where we're at today, at the end of our delegation.
So how many? There's quite a few of them.
Well, you've got a few of them here. There are many in the hall. So 37 in all. 37 in, that's how much we could accommodate this year. We limited to one bus.
So you've got a busload of entrepreneurs touring the Valley. So what's been the big takeaway? I mean, you've obviously had conversations with the entrepreneurs. I wish we could have all of you talk to us, but unfortunately we don't have enough mics. So what's been the big takeaway from
So I'd say the few things are, one is that, really India is emerging. Our entrepreneurs each year, even in the last 3 years, I see an improvement from year to year in their readiness, in their awareness, in terms of the receptiveness of the folks here to what we are seeing in India. I think just the fact that they see equivalent companies almost, right? In terms of ideas, in terms of the maturity of the entrepreneurs, their ambition, and I think fundamentally the audaciousness of some of our entrepreneurs too, right? I think the other thing that was very important was to understand that the platform players are very engaged and very interested in working with India. We visited Apple, we visited Facebook, we visited
NASSCOM tying up with Facebook.
Yes, exactly, and we've announced a partnership with Facebook on the design front to ensure that many of our software product companies have awesome design, because design is so important now. You just interviewed Shantanu from Adobe about the experience, the imperative that there is in delivering an awesome experience out of the box, and that's important for us software product companies. We hope to do that with this partnership with Facebook.
Well, congratulations to all of you for making it here to the Valley, and as I said, we hope to have you all on Young Turks at some point, so congratulations and thanks very much, Ravi. As always, a pleasure chatting with you. Thanks a million. What kind of opportunities would you bet on if you had to start over today?
When in technology, when I look at it, I mean, it's really just beginning to scratch the surface in terms of IoT, right? I mean, there's going to be billions and billions of these devices all over the world that are going to be, enabling richer, smarter digital lifestyle for all of us, but also enabling the businesses to be able to do more.